There's more to what brings North Texas together. More to your favorite team, your favorite restaurant, more to the places that have been here and the ones that just opened. These aren't side stories, they're how the city connects. At the Dallas Morning News, we cover the stories behind the food, the sports, and the traditions that make this region what it is, so you can understand your city better and know it's worth showing up for. To learn more, visit dallasnews.com. This is home.
Doom scrolling during this ad break? Ditch the doom and get peace of mind with new Blink 2K Plus Smart Security. Check on home right from your phone with 2K clarity, noise cancellation, and 4 times zoom. Plus, setup takes less time than playing your favorite song. Singing while installing not required but encouraged. Get more, spend less with Blink 2K Plus Smart Security.
TXU Energy is the trusted provider with plans to help you save no matter how you use energy. Whether that means you're a work-from-homer, a stay-up-all-nighter, a newfound EV driver, a solar panel adopter, or a recent mover, they've got a plan just for you. And a total satisfaction guarantee means they stand behind every single plan. Discover why more Texans choose TXU Energy than any other provider by visiting TXU.com today. TXU Energy. Energy for everything.
Visit TXU.com for more information. Rep number 10004.
What is going on, guys? Welcome once again, and I should say, happy Cinco de Mayo. Hola, bienvenidos. How's everybody doing today, man? I hope everybody's having a good time. I hope you had a good time at Cinco de Mayo. If you had anything at work or anything cool happen over there, man. But with that being said, what's up, man? That guy Memes, good to have you back on stream, brother. Good to see you back. Gio, welcome back. Chocolate Chips back in the building. I see you're still rocking the numero uno for May. Chocolate Chips is like sound like a cheat code to get the Solana. I'm telling you right now. What's up, Gab? How's it going? What is going on? Blinky. What is going on, Bears? What's up, man? Good to see you as well. Queen Saber Blast. And who else we got up in here? Let's see. Did I miss anything? I think I did. I think I got everyone. I think everybody has been given a hello. What's up? If you're new to the stream, first time stopping by, say hello, say what's up. We want to welcome everybody to the stream, and I hope everybody has a good time. Danny up in the building. Danny, what's up? We got the Peluditas by Pechi Poli coming in clutch. What's going on? How's everybody doing? Boy, do we have a lot to talk about today, man. Things are about to get interesting. I know a couple people were asking me a couple stuff inside Boltz Alpha. We're going to try to cover those whenever they get in here and they ask the question. We kind of theoretically missed a little bit of a runner here on Seller. But it's okay. Okay, we can live with it. Like, we theoretically should have we barely missed it too, man, which is kind of a little bit annoying. What's up, Jarly? How's it going? How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's having a good time. May has been one of the most interesting months in a very, very long time when it comes to trading. And it's super interesting because the volume is actually really, really good. The only biggest problem that we're having is that the volume is spread out. It was spread out like two-way, now it's spread out three-way. We're going to talk about that today. So you guys can dive in here. So a lot of really cool stuff happening in the world of crypto. A lot of good things actually happening. So that's always a good thing. But regardless of that, you know, I think the market's looking pretty solid. I think we're going to get a really crazy runner in Solana very soon. And we'll talk about that a little bit later too as well. So let's dive right into it. So we are going to get started and see what's going on with Pump.fun. And as you guys see, guys, everything seems to be the same. Everything seems to be normal. We got 32,000 tokens launching, 240 kind of migrating. So very, very similar in the sense of how we left it off on Thursday. But with a big change that we have less graduations now than we do tokens being launched. So I don't like it when there's too much token launches and not that many graduations. It's not that good for the space. What's up, Boltz? How's it going? Coffee ready. Got rugged out this week. No! Need a 10x. Loaded another 0.8 Solana. Boltzy, my boy. How? How? Yeah, you're killing me, Boltz. Here we go. 32. All right, here we go. But that's what we have. I hope everybody's doing pretty solid today. And we're going to be talking about that. But overall, in general, I don't like it when there's this big disparity where we have less graduations than we do launches. Okay, so I'm okay with it, but I just don't like it. You know, I just don't like it. I don't think it's good for the space. But that's what we have as far as pump. And we go take a look at the volume. We're going to take a look at the volume and see what's going on here. Volume. We have 86. Not bad. Remember what we said? I think we had it at 90 on Thursday, though, to be honest. We kind of want to have this somewhere roughly around 90s to 100. That means it's really, really good. 86 is not bad, but we want to see it. And it makes perfect sense because, like I said, the volume is good. It's just that the volume is not as good when it comes to it being in one central space, which is usually what tends to happen. Like all the, meme coins kind of just trade in Solana. It hasn't been this way at the start of the month, which is pretty interesting. Don't forget to hit that like if you guys enjoy the content. Don't forget to hit that like if you guys are learning something new. And don't forget to hit that like, especially if you would like to catch a 10x. Hit that like button, share with your friends, let everybody know. Bring on everybody over. Can you explain the signal noise, please? Yes, Yarly. We are going to explain that today and give you the thesis behind that. So I am going to do something real quick. Let me see this real quick. I'm going to add this because this is going to make perfect sense with that question. Okay, so let me bring this in here. We're going to talk about that today because I know it's a question a lot of you guys have been asking, not only on the Boltz Alpha, but also asking within the within X as well. So let me put this in here. All right. So I want you, this is one of my quotes. Okay, this is one of the quotes I say a lot during whenever we do conferences. And it's super important. It's basically the same thesis of signal versus noise in a more simplified fashion which means less grind, more gains. Okay. And I'm gonna pose a question to you guys, and we'll dive into it. Let me just get rid of this whole thing first, and then we'll get it. But I just wanted to share with you guys, so you guys get this in your hand, right? Less grind, more gains, right? Keep that in mind. So that's what we have right now within the pump fund, 86 million. Sorry, it's good, but I like it above 90. I like it above 90. As far as crypto's concerned, right now we have Bitcoin going up to 81. There might be a little bit of a kind of like a little bit crazy, like, a little bit red happening here in Bitcoin, just because of what Michael Saylor just recently said. He just said it a couple minutes ago, like an hour ago. So that might cause a little bit of disparity there. Solana's at 86, where we said we wanted to have it at 89 or 90. That's kind of like the sweet spot for there, but meme coins are still doing what they're doing. And also we have a little bit of movement on of course, you guys know, right? Ton, which has actually gone up almost to 70%. And we were actually talking about a specific coin inside the Boltz Alpha. Haven't shared it with anybody else. It's just a really, really good coin that we think has a really good upside on that ecosystem. So that's what we have so far, guys, and that's what we're gonna kind of looking at right now. As far as the trenches are concerned, if I see something that I like that pops on my board and I'm like, okay, that looks pretty interesting, we'll jump into it. But let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the signal versus noise real quick. Okay, so a lot of you guys ask me, what is signal versus noise? And it's something that I kind of address every single time. And I say it, you know what? Betchy Polly with Sabash in the building. Let's go. And I say it every single time, and a lot of people have a question. What is it? I've explained it before, but I'm going to explain it in a very nice fashion. And I want to pose a question to you guys. What would you say if I told you you could work less and make more money? How would that make you feel? How would you go about capsulating that within what you're currently doing right now? If you're working a 9 to 5, or if you're working 7 days a week, and I were to tell you, listen, you could actually work less, but you could actually make more money working less than you do if you were to work every single day. Okay, so the biggest problem people have, and it's one of the hardest things to understand, is that when we were created, right? When we were made with a certain aspect within our bodies, that our bodies need to rest. And you see this due to the fact that every time you work too much, you get tired and you got to go to sleep, right? You can't work that much. You got to go rest, right? So it is the same philosophy that applies to a weekly schedule, right? So within a weekly schedule, you're meant to work a certain period of time, right? You're meant to work 6 days. That's the whole point. You're meant to work 6 days, and on the 7th day, you're supposed to relax, chill, go spend some time with your family, spend some time with God, and do what you got to do, right? And that period of time, a lot of people take it for granted, because a lot of people think, well, if I put in 7 days a week and I work 7 days a week, then I'm gonna make more money. But in reality, you can literally make more money working 6 days a week as opposed to 7. So that's the reason why I tell you guys signal versus noise, because there's so much noise happening around the world right now. And there's so much noise at your work, so much noise at school, so much noise everywhere, where you are being programmed in a sense of, I got to listen to all this noise, because if I don't listen to all this noise, I won't go forward. And that's the reason why I kind of tell you guys that you literally could work less and make either the same amount of money you're currently making right now if you were to be working 7 days a week, or make more with a less factor. And that's the reason why I preach signal versus noise. And I preach it in a sense where it makes sense in a way, but in a way that you could literally see it happening in your life. Okay. So that's kind of like where the signal versus noise thing happened. And if you notice, a lot of really good entrepreneurs have this same adaptation of signal versus noise. I'm pretty sure if you ever listen to any TED Talks or anything like that, you'll see that they have kind of like the same stance on it. Just the problem is that it's just not being taught the right way. And that's why, every time, every weekend, I tell you guys, listen, if we hit a 10x if we hit a 20x, if we hit a 40x, take some of that, allocate some of that profit that you made, take a little bit of break, and like we say in the trenches, go touch some grass, because you kind of need that moment where you kind of distress and you let it all go, and you just reprogram your brain, and you come back with a little bit more energy, come back with a little bit more focus, come back with a little bit more of a better mentality, where it's gonna avoid you making mistakes. Because if you just kind of just go over like working, Monday through Sunday, right? Like you work all the 7 days, you like your span time for you to think and actually meditate, or time to see what you're doing wrong within a trade, or why you missed out on. If you don't take that time, if you don't take that space, you're just gonna constantly be making the mistake over and over and over and over and over again. So you kind of want to have that moment where you're like, okay, let me see what's going on. Let me de-stress a little bit, and then come back, fully focused, fully mentally, to go. And I know some of you guys like, but how about if a coin comes out during the weekend? Guys, listen, coins come out every day. Coins come out every day. You're gonna make you trust, right? You're gonna make more than you would if you were just to sit there and just do it every single day. So that's kind of like the signal versus noise. But if you encapsulate that into a quote, it's basically let's grind more gains. That's kind of like where it's at. Okay? So I hope that answers your question. If it didn't answer your question, you have a little bit more questions, let me know. But in general, it's just a more healthier way to not only trade, it's just a more healthier way to actually live. So it's kind of like a discipline in that you need to personally adapt into your routine. And once you adapt it, I know, look, listen, this is coming from someone that I am pretty workaholic. Okay, I like working and I love working, and it's very difficult to say like, yo, stop. Like you need to calm down. It's one of those things, right? But it's once you do it, it might take you like maybe like a week or two to kind of feel it a little bit. But once you do it, once you once you do it, you'll be pretty good. You'll be pretty good. Just don't take the whole month off. Miss the wrong month. Oh yeah, so that's what's up with that, man. So I hope that answers your question, and it's a very interesting concept to kind of program, because you just gotta, it's gonna be healthy for you. Okay, so that's kind of like what it means. All right, so now let's kind of settle in. Let's see what we find. Right now, this is kind of like the big news right now that just came out. Came out an hour ago, and hope you saw my comment, Boltz. Let me see. I can scroll up, brother. Give me a second. Let's see what you got. I'm old. Back is broken from physical labor since 17 years old. No retirement in place, no home. I gotta make it. You're gonna make it, my boy. Yeah, look, this is what it is though, Holtz. My boy, you gotta concentrate, and don't overtrade, my boy. That's what's happening. Like, you are over trading. Like, you concentrate, man. Concentrate. Focus in. And I know you're gonna make it. Look, listen. You just gotta trade at the right time, make the right plays, and don't overtrade. If you hit a 10x, a 3x that day, like, breathe in, relax, and be like, whew, okay, this feels good. This is a good one. And we'll go. Let's see what we find. Claudia. Why does it seem to be like an AI agent? What is this? Richard Dawkins has gotten a little too close to his chatbot. Oh, that's right. He did say. Why is there ads in my music here? Am I not logged in? Hold on, give me a second. What is it? Yeah, I am all caught up. Huh. Okay, I don't know why my Spotify's playing ads, but can someone check if my subscription's over or something on my Spotify? Okay, so I don't know why it's playing ads, but let me see. All right, we're just gonna kind of like quiet the music because I have no idea what's playing out. All right. Yes, a reminder to give us a thesis on troll. Okay, very good. Let's see. Okay, I don't know what's gonna let me log me out. I don't know. It's gonna ask me to log back in here. Yeah. Okay, hold on. Yeah, I have to log in through the internet, so that's the biggest problem. Okay, anyways, we'll leave it like that. You should like if you like next time, let me know. Okay. Anyways, we're gonna go without music, fellas. We're gonna do it without music. Okay, so quick question on troll. Let me get rid of the troll and then we'll start hunting. Let me pull up troll here real quick. And let me just see. The only one that looked interesting was that one. Before I step out here. Okay, listen, we're gonna take a stab on this one, Claudia. It does look like it's getting PvP'd, but this looks like a little bit better, in the sense that the other one's almost at 5K. So we're gonna drop a little bit here. Hold on. Actually, let's see. It's actually dipping a lot. We'll buy a little bit here. Okay, we'll buy some there. We put a stop loss, Claudia, and it looks like it's getting PvP'd. I like the concept. I like the idea. Let me get rid of this here. I'll put it up in here. There's a little bit of a risky play due to the fact that it's right now Sailor's kind of like the main story, but I like this one just because I think it's funny enough, you know. So let me see what we have right now. Give me a second. I'm gonna put it up here. It's a little bit of a risk play. I would put like a nice little stop loss in case, like maybe like a 30% to a 50%. But it looks decent enough to actually move. So we'll see what happens. Movie in the building. Let's go. Okay, here we go. So let's get that going here, and then we should be good. Okay, so let's jump into the troll thing. We'll let this settle. Hopefully, it goes up right now. I mean, if some of you guys got in, it's gonna be like 14K, 15K around there. Theoretically, if it hits 30, it should 2x for a lot of people. We're gonna let it ride there. We're gonna let it sit, see what it does. Interesting thesis because we had seen it. I had seen this kind of like narrative, start trending a little bit on CT yesterday, and they actually made a coin, so it's actually moving, which is not bad. But let me just do this right here. Okay. I see you. Oh, okay. All right. I see you, fam. I see it's going up. It's going up. It's going up. All right, so how many of you guys got in, man? Hopefully you guys got in. Hopefully it actually migrates 2x already. Let's go. That's what we love to see. That's what we love to hear. Let's go. Theoretically speaking, this looks very, very solid here. I don't know what I should probably, what I'm gonna do is we're just gonna put this here. Hopefully it does its thing here. All right. So I'm glad all of you guys 2x. Awesome. We're gonna go into the thesis of the troll question that you had. And then we'll come back and see what happens with this one. But this one looks pretty good. I've been seeing it all over CT lately, which is the concept that if you guys want to know like a little bit thesis of what this is about. So he was quoted yesterday. I think it was yesterday. I'm not 100% sure, but it was a day before today, and he said that he's been having like a bot that he kind of like, you know, he kind of like flirts and talks. So yeah, so that's where that came out from. So hopefully it goes up. Hopefully it does pretty well. And we're gonna keep an eye on it. And it doesn't sell us out here. Let me see what my stop loss is in here on. I think I got it. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. We should be good. All right, let's see what happens. We're gonna go here. So a lot of you guys have been asking me about troll. Okay. And currently right now, I know the majority of people, I don't know where you guys bought in, but what I do know is there are a lot of people who actually bought in around 20 mil, 30 mil around there. So the question is, and the question I want to pose for you guys is, how high do you think this could go, and why do you think it could go this high? Okay, and I'm going to show you guys exactly how this works, because this coin has ran already. This one ran all the way to 200. This is a very good trade that we did as well, back when it ran. But right now, it's on the concept of, can it run, and can it run higher? Okay, so that is the big question that everybody's asking, because that is kind of like where it's at. So right now the coin is sitting at 43 mil. So in order for me to explain this, I gotta explain to you guys how the thesis and how coins go up. And I want you to tell me, whenever we get to a specific part, I want you guys to tell me, in general, where do you think we are based on troll going up? Okay, so let me pull this up here. Let me bring this out here. We'll put this in this corner right here, and I'm going to show you guys something right now. Okay, so I'm gonna pull this out, and let me know if you see the graph and if you see it properly, because it's going to be super important to understand. All right, let me know if you see the graph, and then if you do see the graph, okay, we're gonna go little by little. Okay, so this is a representation of a graph going up. Okay, and I'm going to show you guys, in general, what it actually takes for the coin to actually hit a bill. So let's take it from 0 to a billion. Okay, now in order for a coin to go from 0 to a billion, it takes a lot of steps. It's about 20 steps. And one of the main things you want to do is understand what step the coin is in. Okay, so the first thing that you want is, I label this as team. So what is involved in team? Team is the first person that buys a coin. Okay, they're the first. There's the persons that launch the coin. They're the person that have the most allocation on the coin, and then the person that are gonna push the coin. Usually under this category, you have the dev, you have the bundler, and you have the KOLs. Okay, so this is super important for a coin to go up, because if any of those three are bad, the coin will not do well. Okay, so if any of those three are considered to be bad, the coin will not do well at all. Okay, if the dev is bad, if the dev is bad, if the team is bad, if the bundler is bad, and the KLs are bad, the coin will not go up. So some coins have all really good ones and one bad one, or two good ones and one bad one. Okay, so usually, if that is not good, the coin will go down. That's how you see a bunch of coins that come out on Pump.fun, or that don't migrate, is because one of those things are bad or all of them are bad. Okay. The next thing is traders, right? Yo, we got pause in the building. Yeah, we have traders. So what do the traders do? Like, what's the whole point of traders? Traders are like me, you, anybody that's sitting on a terminal and trading the coin. Now, usually, most of the people that are trading are just trading to kind of 2x to 50x, and they're out of a coin. They're like, forget it. This coin already did its thing. I'm out. I'm not even staying in coin. Then you have some people who are bag holders, and they're like, okay, bag holders, they are pretty good, pretty bad, and you're like, the coin dumps, and it runs up to 40, and it dumps all the way back down to like 8K. That's because everybody that traded the coin just traded it just for a fast trade, right? They didn't believe in the coin. They didn't think of the coin. But you don't really need good traders for a coin to go up. You just need the first portion to be really good. If the first portion is really good, the traders will come. Okay? This is just the sequence that happens when the coin goes up. As the coin is going up, you're going to get a thing called swing traders. Now, swing traders are basically anybody who buys the coin and just wants to either 2x it, 3x it, and get out of the coin. And what the great thing about swing traders is, as the coin is going up, they keep swinging it. So, like, let's say for example, the coin goes up to 100K. they're like happy. They take their profit. They see the coin still doing pretty well. They wait for a retracement. Let's say the coin comes down to 150. They buy back at 150. They sell back at 300. And then they just keep moving along with the chart, as it's going up. But they're just in there, just not holding the bag. They're just constantly just trading, constantly trading over and over. If the chart looks good, they'll trade the chart. And they're just constantly pumping in rotation, which is buying and selling, which is volume, which is always really, really good. Okay. Now, after the swing traders, then you have what I like to call bag holders. Now, these bag holders, these are fall under traders as well, but these are people who are very, very adamant, very, very adamant about how well a coin's gonna do. And this is the people who you see on CT posting about a coin. They're very bullish, and this is one of the biggest catalysts for the coin, but also one of the scariest for the person that falls under this category. Because the person that falls under this category believes in this coin so much, and they believe that the coin is going to go up, that they will not sell even if the coin goes negative. They will literally hold the coin because they believe it's just going to keep their, they believe in it. They're like, we call them diamond hands, okay? And they believe in the coin that much. And they will not sell and not sell. They're like, no, dude, this coin's going to $1 billion. This coin's going to $1 billion. These people either make a lot of money or lose a lot of money. That's the scary part. Okay, that's one of the scariest parts to be in, but it's one of the most lucrative ones because if you really believe in a coin and you think it's going to do something and it does something, you make a good bag. Okay. But it's one of the scariest because sometimes you could just believe in the coin so much that the coin does not do what it's supposed to do or what you thought would do. And the coin goes down and your profit goes down as well with it, So it's one of those things. That's super important. Then after this, guys, you have a thing called whales, okay? And whales usually tend to be people who have a large sum of money, who have a thing and knack for, risking high risk trades. And this is usually the part where KLs that are in the team start calling a coin, which is like roughly like around 1 million, 2 million, depending on the coin, 2 million, 3 million, 500K. This is when they start calling the coin because the coin has gone up so much that they need bigger fish to actually fill the pond, right? And this is where you see kind of like apes, where it's like, 30 Solana, 50 Solana, 100 Solana, apes coming in because you need these whales. And usually the majority of these whales are either people who are friends with the KOLs or friends with the team or friends or an exchange that they know that the coin's going to get listed and stuff like that. Okay, so that's where that's at right now. Then after that, guys, we have exchanges. Now, the exchanges, these are pretty much the ones that list coins. So if you see like Max, Max V, and then you have all the lower tier exchanges, which are your like tier 3 exchanges. These are the ones that buy roughly around like 1 million, 2 million, and they list the coin and the coin goes up. But you theoretically want to make sure these exchanges get in because that means that the coin's going to go higher. This is usually happening around 1 million, 2 million, 3 million range. After that, you have a thing called market makers. Now, market makers is a little bit trickier because these could actually be running way lower, but this is just the process it takes for a coin to hit a bill. Okay, so some of these things are intertwined because depending on how high the coin goes, you could probably run a market maker, at 1 million or below 1 million and to push the coin up. Or, in this case, since we're running it to a bill, this is what's happening. So market makers are like big VC companies that what they do is they get paid to make the coin go up. And what they do is they get a big chunk of allocation or percent of a coin. And their whole point is just to push as much volume into this coin as possible, or to kind of make the coin look really, really appealing to anybody that's investing. Okay. And this is where you start seeing the coin like do crazy volume, and people are like, okay, well, we got to get in. So when you see this crazy amount of volume, that is literally when you get tier 1 exchanges in. Now, tier 1 exchanges, these are your Binance, Qcoin, and your Coinbase. These are tier 1 exchanges. So tier 1 exchanges, what they do is they'll look for either a big percentile of a coin, or they'll pick up a big chunk of allocation before listing the coin on their platform. And then they will list the coin on their platform, and the coin gets listed, and then it's like the coin goes up. Okay, the coin goes up from, if it's roughly sitting at, let's say 10 million, 20 million, 40 million, it goes from 40 million all the way up. And I could give you guys an example, since you guys are asking about Troll. This is literally what happened. Okay, so like right here, this is where the coin was roughly sitting like around 10, 12 million. And this is where you got your tier 1 exchange listing, and the coin ran up really, really crazy. Okay, so this is when Coinbase said, okay, we're gonna put Troll in here, and you got this awesome thing, which went from the low bar of 10 all the way to like 270, and just because it got listed in a tier 1. Now, it still didn't get a bill, and I know that's what you're asking. It's like, okay, well, that didn't push it to a billion. What happened? Well, there's still a lot of things that still need to take place for that to actually get to a billion. You need to have a thing called investors. So investors are basically the people who come in and they see that the coin has a potential of hitting 1 billion, and they're just waiting for a good entry. So the coin needs to come down in order for the coin to go up. Now, the problem with that is that this will mess up the chart. So like, for example, on this one, in this case, since we're kind of looking at this, you'll notice that the chart goes up, and you actually need an investor to come in like roughly either around here or here to push this coin past this all-time high. And this is where you kind of, like on this coin in particular, you see that didn't happen. So the coin kept calming down. So that part was missing. Now, apart from that, you also need a thing called VC. These are venture capitalists, and these are companies, not individuals, but these are companies who invest in the product because they see that there is a good return for that product. Okay, so if there's a good return for the product, of course they'll be exactly thrilled and excited to put money in it, but it has to be a right amount to get into the coin for the coin to go up. Okay, and then that's kind of like what happens. So if I go up here and we take a look at, let's see a coin that hit a bill. Let's go to GOAT, because this is the one I made a killing on. Let's see, we go to GOAT here. Yeah, let's see, we could go back. Let's see, we could go back. Let's go back. Yeah. I gotta get to the right month here. This is like last year. Let's see. And what I'm telling you guys is super duper important, because you're not gonna hear this anywhere else. And once you understand it, you will understand that. Well, how do I go? Let's go to a year here. Okay, that gives me a better picture here. Okay, that's a lot better. Okay. So as you see right here, and it's gonna be hard to see because of these bars are a little bit thick, right? But with that being said, this is what happened. So the coin goes up, okay? It hits roughly like around 600K, and then from 600K, roughly like around 600 million, sorry, to like 700 million, the coin dips, and it dips all the way, comes down almost, I think it crashed down almost to 250 million, or like roughly like 180 billion. It came down, and that is where you got the investors and you got the VCs in, right? So they bought it here at that 150 range, and then from there, the coin went up. Okay, the coin went up to 1 billion, and this is like where they invested down here, and the coin started going up. Now, when the coin gets here to like roughly like around 800K, no, sorry, I keep saying 800K, 800 million, 500 million. That's when you get the remaining people who actually push the coin higher. Okay, that's when FOMO kicks in. Now, FOMO kicks in anytime you're trading a chart, but the biggest problem FOMO kicks in is when people are like, oh my goodness, this coin is so good, it's just gonna blow up, and people start buying it regardless. Okay, people start buying because they're like, nah, man, this is the coin, bro. This is the coin. and they'll just buy it because not because they know what the coin's about, not because they have a sentiment if the coin's gonna go higher. It's just because their inner spirit's telling them, "Yo, you should go buy this coin. This coin's on the moon." So that's what tends to happen. And then after that, you get what a lot of people call, which is normies. You get everybody else that's not into crypto that kind of just hears a friend or a colleague or someone say, "Hey, you know what? You should literally consider buying this coin because it's just gonna go to the moon. Like it's gonna fly, man. You should definitely pick this coin up because it's just gonna do really, really solid." Okay. So that's kind of like the way it works and the way you should kind of consider whenever you're trading a coin. So if you feel like a coin's gonna do well, you gotta ask yourself under what situation or in what column is that coin in? So now I'm gonna throw this back at you guys. Where do you guys, now that we're talking about Troll, where do you think Troll is, and do you think Troll has a possibility of fulfilling all of those columns? Okay, so that's kind of like the thesis I want to give you, and I wanted to show you a short so it could better register in your head on how that works. Okay, so that is the main concept. So let me know if you understood that, if that makes sense to you guys. If it doesn't make sense, let me know. But I did want to share it with you guys so you guys could kind of get a better idea of how the coin goes to 1 billion. Now, if for some reason at one point you feel like it's missing one of those, a coin usually will not hit 1 billion. Okay, so that's theoretically what happened. Okay, that's theoretically what happens. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. Whenever I look at a coin, um, it's usually I see a coin and there are certain coins I feel like it's not there yet, but it has the potential of filling every single one of these spots. Right now, to me personally, there's only one coin that falls under that category at the current moment, and like we're in that coin since 2 mil, so and we're holding. So right now, in my opinion, I don't feel like there's another coin that has that catalyst, because you need that catalyst to be like the first wave catalyst. Usually the second wave catalyst theoretically almost never gets to that, you know, that billion. The coin that I feel could hit a bill and I would be kind of surprised if it didn't, um or at least come close to it, is this one, Asteroid. Now this is on ETH. I wish it would have been the one on Solana, but this is the one on ETH, and you can literally see the biggest difference. Okay, so if you notice this right here, boom. Okay, 20 mil to like 170 million market cap, and as you notice, the pattern has been kind of consolidating. It hasn't consolidated down here. It's kind of been consolidating at that 100 million, right? And right now, you see the catalyst here. It's at 200 right now. If I overlay like our little pattern here that we have, so we are so this one really didn't have a team, but it got a team a little bit at a higher market cap. It already got the whales, all right. It already got one exchange listing, but it's still not in the moment of where you get a market maker. I think a market maker might be in here. I would have to double check and check the buys and all that stuff. Um, it doesn't have a big market maker at the current moment, but it has a lot of tier exchange wallets. They haven't listed it, but it has a lot of them that have bought. So whenever this coin gets listed on a tier one, if it gets listed, I'm not saying it will. If if it gets listed, you would literally see this coin go from wherever it's at to like maybe 500 million. Okay. Once again, not financial advice. I'm not saying it's going to do it. I'm just saying if it does happen and it gets listed on a tier one exchange, you will literally see this coin go from wherever it's at. It could be like at 100, it could be at 90 million, it could be at 200 million. Go from where it's at and kind of give you like a 2 to 3x, like in a candle. And this is without a major like Elon post or a Elon APO or Elon actually tweeting something. Because if Elon were to plaster asteroid on a rocket and send it to the moon, this will literally go roughly close to 1 billion in a big candle. So that's where we're at. This is the only coin that I feel like it has that potential out of any other coin that's currently right now. And we're kind of rooting for this one. There is another coin. The only problem, it's in a different chain. And that one, so there's a difference, right? Once, usually we'll call coins that are crimed. Like, for example, when we called Pippin, we literally knew that coin was getting crimed. And that's because we simply understood a thesis that coin was going to go up regardless of what happened. And that's what it did. This coin in particular is not getting crimed yet. So it's not like it's getting pushed out of randomness, if that makes sense. I hope that made sense, and I hope that kind of gives you a better idea to understand how coins go up and how the process works. But if you have any questions, let me know, and then we're more than happy to address them. Okay, like that's that. I hope that helps. All right, so let's go back. I think we took a L. I think some of you guys hit a 2x on Claudia. I think it went down based on the information my boy was relating to me. He's like, yo, bro, it's at 800 or 7K or something like that. I think it went down. So let's see if we find something else that might be interesting. Right now, it's very, I don't want to say the word difficult to trade on Solana because the problem is that we're spread out amongst 3 chains. So a lot of people are trading on ETH. And then recently, yesterday, people started moving to Ton. Didn't get a 2x. It's down. Should I get? Yeah, probably, brother. Probably. So right now, the thing is here is that Ton is actually moving a lot, and because of the big pushes that they had. So one of these coins is gonna do pretty well. I personally on Ton only own 2 of them. So I own this one, which was Redo, and this one, like I own this one since 2024. Like I bought this in 2024, so I bought this pretty far back. I've been holding for a very long time, as you can tell, almost very very long time. So that one I already have profit, but I just still have a bag in it. And I bought this one, which is this little duck. It's one of the most famous ducks in I would say emojis. So we have this one. We allocated a lot on here. Those are the only 2 coins that I have for that one. But that's pretty much it. This is the same thing. I own Brett since 2024 as well. I already took like on Redo. I already took profits. It's just like money that's sitting there. On this one, we barely got in like 2 days ago. So roughly, kind of like around this like 20 million range right there. And so those are the only ones I own currently on Ton, but there's a lot of volume going in there, and there's a lot of volume underneath, and then so we have Solana. So that's kind of like why the trenches are a little bit slow right now, is because people are trading on 3 different chains, and usually that's what tends to happen. Okay, so someone had another question. What was the question? Should I drop 5 ETH on Asteroid? What is the entry for now? So, like, to be honest, the entry for for Asteroid was that 100 million, 90 million range when it dropped. If I take a look at the chart right here, this is the thing with Asteroid. I think with Asteroid, this is kind of looking at it at a glance. Possibility, bro, you get like a 160 to 140 mil entry, and with the possibility that it could trickle a little bit, like maybe 10% or 20%, and then get a catalyst. For a moment. Apart from like I have another coin that I think it's gonna get crimed. I'm waiting for it to hit 100 mil so I can kind of be like, yo, guys, I was right. Because if it doesn't get to 100 mil, I was wrong, right? So it has to get to 100 mil and then just keep going up. But that's what we have right there with the thesis. So that's what we got. All right, so let's go back to trend.